Excuse me, Abdul? Where the heck did you disappear to? Why did you go home despite still having work to do? Abdul!
Hey, Zoe. Sorry for the late reply. I was pretty sure I finished all my work for today. Did I miss something?
Yes, the job I asked you to do.
Huh?
I can't believe you went home without even touching it. I have to submit those files by the end of today, you know.
Wait, what? The job you asked me to do? I'm not sure I know what you mean. When was this?
I left it on your desk at about 5:40 p.m.
Zoe, that's after the end of my shift. I leave the office every day at 5:35.
What? Are you telling me you went home despite still having work to do?
I got all my work done comfortably on time today. In fact, I was pretty pleased not to have any overtime for a change.
What are you saying? How could you have gotten all your work done comfortably when there's a big fat pile of documents still sitting on your desk?
There's hardly anything I can do about work I got assigned after I went home. Anyway, this job you're talking about? Judging from the fact that deadline's today and you put it on my desk after I'd gone home, I can only assume that either the manager responsible for assigning it either forgot about it, or it was your job to begin with, which you forgot about, and upon realizing at the last minute, panicked. And tried palming it off on me like you always do. Well, am I right? Which one is it? The latter, I'm guessing?
How rude!
Whether you think it's rude or not, it's the truth, isn't it? Go on, can I get some honesty out of you for a change? You spent all your time at work playing around on your phone or fiddling with your nails. It's not an exaggeration to say I've literally never seen you work for more than 5 minutes. Which is probably why you never end up making deadlines on time and palm your projects off onto me. Not only that, but you have this strange habit of giving me stuff right before it's due for submission, so I hardly ever have a chance of getting it done on time. I hate to say this, but this kind of feels like harassment. Do you have some kind of grudge against me? On the few occasions I did have time to do one of your jobs, you invariably took the credit for my work. I find your behavior jaw-dropping, to be honest.
Oh, button it already, would you? I'm sick of your whiny attitude. Forget all that. The bottom line here is that the section manager expects to see those files on his desk first thing tomorrow morning. If you don't want to cause everyone at the office problems and jeopardize your already very weak position at this company, I suggest you get to work.
Why don't you do it yourself?
I have important business to attend to right now, so I can't. Get back to the office and get to work. Now!
You gotta be joking! I just got home!
Well, you had better make sure you set your alarm clock nice and early so you can get to the office before everyone else and get it done then.
I'm pretty sure you need permission from one of the higher-ups to go into the office early. Can't just do it as you please.
Oh, don't worry. I just messaged him.
Huh?
I told the section manager about how you ran crying to me begging for help. Because you forgot to complete the documents he urgently needs to see on his desk first thing tomorrow.
What the heck? Why would you do that? That's a lie!
Actually, thanks to me thoughtfully and conscientiously filling him in on a situation like this, you now have permission to go in early tomorrow, which means it's now officially your job. You're welcome.
Just hold on a minute.
Apparently, all the bigwigs from Company HQ in New York will be coming down to look at these documents tomorrow. So I think it's about time you pulled your socks up, Abdul. If you don't do a good job here, it'll go down as your mistake, and whatever damage the company suffers as a result will be on you.
Fine. I'll be at the office first thing.
Finally, you're behaving like a mature adult. It took some time, but I'm pleased you saw sense in the end.
Zoe, please. I have to ask you to stop doing this. Make sure that this is the last time you palm any of your projects off on me, okay? I'm only a temp employee, so there's no guarantee I'm going to be at this company forever. Eventually, you could find yourself without anyone to run to when you're struggling. And then what?
On the contrary, I'm a full-time regular employee at this company, and a highly respected one at that. So if you dare to defy me, I could see to it that your contract gets terminated at the drop of a hat.
Excuse me?
Basically, you're my servant, you filthy agency temp. You will serve and assist me to the best of your ability during your time here. You will bend over backwards to make sure all of my needs, wants, and momentary whims are satisfied completely. It would be in your best interests to stop talking back to me from now on. I think you know why, don't you, Abdul? Good boy.
Good evening, Abdul. Is now a good time? Hello, Mr. Rollins. Sure, what can I do for you? Apologies. I try to avoid contacting staff out of work hours if I can, but I wanted to talk to you as soon as I could. That's okay. What's up? It's about the documents you came into the office early this morning to put together. I see. Was there some kind of mistake? Did I miss something important? Not at all. Just the opposite, in fact. The opposite? So you might have heard about all the top brass from Company HQ coming down today to take a look at the documents. After they did, they requested to see some of your previous work, so I had my secretary send them a portfolio of everything you've done during your time here. To quote the CEO directly, for someone talented enough to compile documents this precise and easy to understand not to be a full employee at my company would be criminal. I've never seen anyone so emotionally moved while looking at business documents before. Everyone agreed, and they said they'd like to meet you. What do you think? Wow, well, I mean, strictly speaking, it's an interview. If it goes well, you could be given a long-term contract and become one of our regular employees. What do you say? I'd be honored to. Wow, thank you so much. Fantastic. I'll be in touch when I receive the schedule. Got it. Thanks again, boss.
Hey, Abdul, when the hell are you going to be coming back to the office? I heard you took a week's vacation. I don't know how the hell you pulled that one off, but anyway, my work piled up like crazy while you were gone. I have so much to do, you wouldn't believe. I'm practically buried here. Not just that, but a good chunk of it is due for submission later today. I hope you know that if you don't hurry up and get here soon, there's a good chance you'll be taking the fall for any missed deadlines, and your reputation at this company will be in tatters.
Huh? Zoe?
Who else would it be? Who do you think you are, taking an entire week off as an agency temp? I can only assume your vacation got approved due to some kind of error. Anyway, I have 10 projects due for submission before this afternoon. See to it that those get completed first. They're all on your desk waiting for you. Get to the office pronto.
Listen, Zoe, there's something you should know. I don't work in that office anymore.
Huh? Now that you mention it, I did think it was weird that your desk was totally empty. Wait, no way. Did you get laid off before your temp contract ended?
Nope. I'm a regular employee as of today.
What the fuck?
The reason I've been off for the last week is because I've been moving house. I've been super busy with everything.
Moving house?
Yep, as of today, I work at Company HQ in New York as a fully fledged regular employee.
What? You, a regular employee? And seriously, Company HQ? How? That's impossible! How could this happen? What did you do? Did you bribe someone?
Bribe someone? You can actually be funny sometimes. I wonder if you remember. It all began 3 months ago. Remember that time you palmed off a bunch of documents on me and I had to come into the office at 3 a.m. to get them done and on the boss's desk in time? You messaged him and got me permission to go in early, right? Remember?
Well, yes, I remember, but what of it?
Apparently, the bigwigs from HQ were really impressed because of how precise and easy to understand they were. They requested the boss approach me about becoming a regular employee. And, well, that's it. Here we are.
This can't be.
I heard they did some kind of announcement in the office group chat just before I got officially hired.
It was in the group chat? I didn't see that.
Interesting. So you don't really check it then, huh?
Anyway, more importantly, I need you to hurry up and get these 10 projects done. I'll be in major trouble if you don't.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why not?
Because I work at HQ in New York now.
What does that have to do with anything? You can't just leave us with a pile of unfinished work on your desk. Take some responsibility for once.
I took care of everything I had to take care of before I left. All I's dotted, all T's crossed, I assure you. I have no unfinished business there. Arrangements to bring in my replacement have also been made. I made sure to confirm it with both Mr. Rollins and the head manager before I left, so there's no doubt about it.
Well, you left behind some of my work. It hasn't even been started, and the deadline's today.
Yes, that's my point. The key word here being your work. Maybe it's time you took some responsibility for once. It's finally time to stand on your own 2 feet, Zoe. I warned you this would happen eventually.
Hey, you traitor. Where are the documents I asked you to get done and submitted before noon?
Excuse me?
I asked you to complete 10 projects, so you must have at least got 2 or 3 done by now. Just give me the stuff you've finished already. Anything will do, please.
I obviously haven't done any.
Excuse me, but I emailed you all the files.
You emailed them?
Everyone would have found out you were doing my work if I put them on the cloud, so I sent all the files and detailed completion specifications by email instead. Don't tell me you didn't even look.
That's right, I didn't look. I just checked my inbox and it looks like you never even sent me anything in the first place.
No way. I did. I so did. I just double-checked your email address. I most definitely did send you those files. Don't lie to me just because you can't be bothered to do them, you coward.
If by any chance, did you send them to the mail address I used back when I was a temporary agency employee?
Huh? The email address from when you were a temp?
I'm a regular employee working in HQ now. Which means, as of today, I'm the proud owner of a shiny new official company email address.
Huh?
They told me during my briefing this morning that I wouldn't be able to access the old email address I used back when I was a temp because it's getting deactivated. Was there no error message?
Error message? There was some kind of pop-up when I sent it, but I don't know anything about that stuff. Do I look like some kind of tech support nerd? Fine, just hurry up and tell me your new email address. Quick, we don't have much time.
We? You're cracking me up here, Zoe! Anyway, you can find my new email address on my profile page on the company's site. However, I won't be doing your work even if you send me it, so you may as well not bother.
That's not good enough. I need you to do it. No, you have to do it. I won't make my deadlines if you don't help me.
Guess what? I just had my boss contact your sales manager.
Huh? My sales manager? Why?
I had him inform your boss that one of the employees in his office is attempting to palm off their work onto an employee at HQ.
No way. You did what? How dare you, you miserable little agency temp! Know your place, vermin!
Seems like you forgot, but allow me to gently remind you that as of today, I am in fact a regular employee. Anyway, I think it's probably for the best you don't look down your nose at agency temps from now on, Zoe. More than that, you absolutely need to make sure you stop treating them like your personal servants and making absurd demands of them every time you're struggling with something. Because the truth is, there are countless people at this company who are more intelligent, hardworking, and better at their jobs than you, agency temp or otherwise.
How dare you be so insolent towards me!
I really don't think someone who's incapable of completing even her most basic job responsibilities, like checking the office group chat every now and then, or recognizing errors when sending mails, is in any position to be speaking to me like that.
Oh, just shut up and do my work already! How many times do I have to tell you we have 10 projects to get done by the end of today?
It's true. You sure do love repeating yourself. I'm sure you'll come up with something, though. Good luck!
Not good luck. I'm saying you have to help me. There's no way I can get through all this on my own.
This is what you get for slacking on the naive assumption someone else would always be around to pick up the pieces.
You're not helping here. I'm begging you.
Goodbye. I heard afterwards that somehow or another, with the combined efforts of the entire sales team, they managed to complete the whopping 10 projects, which had piled up beyond levels never seen before on time, handing the last one in with barely seconds to go. When they did, Zoe said,
Wow, isn't it amazing what you guys can do when you put your minds to it? Make sure tomorrow's work gets done too.
Unbelievably, she actually had the nerve to continue going home on time when guaranteed overtime had become a daily reality for every single one of her colleagues due to her laziness. Needless to say, everyone in the office was furious with her. I heard she was summoned into the head manager's office, where she was mercilessly chewed out by him and the sales manager in a grueling ordeal lasting over an hour. However, Zoe, still somehow not understanding why virtually the entire company was angry with her, started sulking, and in her pettiness decided not to go into work the next day. She was, of course, fired. Last I heard, she was going from one job to the next, unable to hold one down for long due to her abrasive personality, becoming increasingly despondent with every switch. Now, my sources tell me she lives in her mom's basement, and her transformation into a full-blown NEET shut-in is complete.
Jack? I have had enough of you fooling around out here. Stop trying to act like it's a good thing to be single at your age and find a woman you can actually stay married to. And once you find that woman, you make her bring me a grandbaby. If you could just try a little harder to find someone, you could become a very good husband and father, right? All you are right now is a complete embarrassment to me.
I think asking Jasmine to bring you that grandbaby would be a lot more effective, Mom. And those two already took fertility tests and the results came back saying that they are both good to go.
I understand that, but that has nothing to do with you. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that it's embarrassing to have my oldest son grow up single and with no kids.
But Mom, I already told you I don't plan on getting married anymore.
Huh? You're going on about that again? Then what's going to happen to me getting my grandbaby?
And that's why I said, you won't be getting a grandbaby from me, okay? I've been to the doctor about it already and they said it's better for me to just look past wanting kids based on the very low chance I have of getting someone pregnant. They even tried bringing up adoption as an option, but you budged in, saying that it was the wife's fault for not bringing in any kids. And you still wonder why she left me after all that crap you gave her, for something that's not anyone's fault but my own. Why is it so hard for you to accept the truth, Mom? You literally do anything but accept the truth, and that includes hurting those who aren't even at fault. If I had to give you a reason why I'm not married now and never will be again, I'd say it has to do with you always getting in the way.
You're going on about that again as well?
If you don't want to hear about it again, then stop making me bring it up. The fact that you always come to me about not having any kids and not having anyone to love is why I always go back and bring up the reasons why. It's driving me nuts.
Well, listen, Jack. You don't have to cover for that ex of yours being infertile anymore, because you've already divorced her and she means nothing to us anymore, right?
Jesus Christ, Mom! I'm not lying about it to protect her. I'm being serious when I say that I'm the one that's infertile. I even showed you the test results from the clinic, right?
Well, anyway, I'm not going to allow you to stay single. The only way you're going to continue staying a man in my family is by getting yourself another wife and making some kids with her. That's what all men need to do, and you're no exception.
Please stop with all this, Mom. At this point, you continue to go in circles about this. It's just wasting everyone's time.
Jack!
I have an early morning tomorrow, so good night.
I've had enough sitting here waiting. You must be planning to surprise me with something, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that penthouse you have. You must have bought that recently, right?
Huh?
When I went into your apartment earlier, I saw the papers on that place lying on your computer.
You've gone and created yet another duplicate key to my place without my permission? Are you still not able to get it into your head that it's because of crap like you that you've caused my last relationship to flounder and forced me to divorce my wife? I can't believe you right now, Mom.
Well, you're my son, and I think I have the right to have access to your apartment. So when are you going to be able to introduce me to that new wife of yours?
Seriously?
The penthouse I saw in those papers lying in your apartment showed that it has 3 bedrooms and a very spacious kitchen, so there must be a good reason for you buying it, right? What kind of woman is the girl you're with right now? Is she the kind of woman that can actually get pregnant and birth some children?
It was after you bought that penthouse that you made my relationship with my ex-wife impossible and I had to divorce her.
Huh?
It's been over a year now since I bought that penthouse. After the divorce, I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, and I still have work and that to deal with as well, so I haven't had time to move into the place or anything yet.
Huh? What the? Can you stop trying to upset me right now? But if that's really the case with you, that penthouse doesn't belong to someone who's single and has no plan to have a family, right?
Huh?
Well, listen, your sister has gotten pregnant.
Oh, is that so? Tomorrow I'll send her a text telling her congrats.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I want you to give that penthouse to your sister and her husband.
What?
Right now, your sister is living in a small apartment with her husband that only has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom in it. Right now, the place is decent for those two, but the moment they have their first baby, they're going to need more space to work with. You can understand that, right?
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Then please give that place to your sister.
Stop being ridiculous, Mom. I am planning to move into that place real soon, and starting this week I plan to get my things packed up and ready to go.
Having a place as big as that all to yourself is far too greedy.
Why is that greedy? Also, this place wasn't even going to be mine in the first place after the divorce, but I was able to get it after much talk with my ex about how much I planned on using it. You have no right telling me to give it away after you almost made me lose it once already.
You are far too old now to be saying such selfish garbage.
How am I being selfish right now?
Are we finished here, Jack? I'm tired of having to fight you all the time on stuff like this. That place is too big for you and would be perfect for your sister, her husband, and her soon-to-be-born baby. And me. Having a place that open for the 4 of us to live in would be perfect.
Hold on a minute. It seems to me like the conditions have changed, and you just made it look as though you plan to live with them in the penthouse.
And what's wrong with me wanting that?
Have you ever even spoken with either of them yet about your plan?
There's no reason for me to talk with them about it now.
Well, if they need a house that's bigger than the apartment they're in, then the normal thing to do would be to move into a bigger place, or have a new place built for their needs, right? And I believe that both of us have heard already from her husband that he plans on having a place of his own built for the family, instead of moving into an already built home, right? Even if I did want to give them my penthouse, they probably don't need it.
I've had enough of this talk. Just give them the dang penthouse. If you continue to keep saying no to what your own mother is asking you, then I'll have to disown you.
Really?
But if you give them that place, then we can all go on with our lives again as normal. You don't want me cutting ties to you, right?
Actually, I don't care if you do or don't.
Right? You know just as well as I do that we don't want that.
Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. You can stop trying to talk your way out of all this now. I am looking forward to moving into that place and having so much room to work with while raising my grandbaby.
That's not what I meant.
Well, since that's what's going to happen soon, I need to start preparing my things as well to move into that place.
Go and do what you'd like, Mom. But don't come back to me when things aren't what they seemed.
Jack! Why are you living in this penthouse right now? You were supposed to have given your sister this place so that her family and I could live here without you.
How do you know about me moving out of my old apartment?
I went to your previous apartment to come see it, and the man living next door to your place told me that you moved out. And when he said that to me, I went right to the building that the penthouse is located in, and I can see that you're in there right now. But when I ran after you as you opened the door, you slammed it in my face before I could come inside.
Well, luckily there's a really fast auto lock on the door that kicked in right before you turned the handle. And if you don't have the key to that lock, you can't get in.
Well, then hand that key over to me right now, Jack. I went to your apartment today looking for that key after all, so now that I've had to run all the way here after you moved in without letting me know, I'm getting that key.
So you went into that apartment again without my permission, huh? Thank God I moved out of there before you started to have one of these fits again.
You don't have any plans to get married again, right?
That's right. All I'm thinking about now is living as a bachelor for the rest of my life.
Then hurry up and get the hell out of there. That penthouse is far too good for some half-cooked man like you who doesn't plan to have a wife or kids.
Well, I'm planning on making this place into my office and this studio as well.
Huh? Making it into an office?
For a long time now, I've been doing this sort of work as a sort of side hustle, and now I'm thinking of focusing on it full time. And as of right now, I've been working with a friend of mine on merging our businesses and making a larger company.
And so what? That sort of stuff has nothing to do with that penthouse.
Well, that friend that I'm working with had plans to get married next year, and then move into a place close to his penthouse. But right now his partner is overseas for work, and he's all alone over here. So the plan is to have him stay in this penthouse with me for the next year until his woman returns and they get married.
What the heck? Why did you make all of those plans without me?
Because this is my penthouse, and since it's mine, I can do what I want with it.
But I told you that if you don't want to be disowned, you have to give that place over to your sister so that her family can move into there. You can look back in our texts and see exactly what I told you. I said for you to give the penthouse to her, and that you don't want me cutting ties with you, right? And you replied by saying you don't care if I do or don't.
Yeah, and that meant that I don't care what you do about your relationship with me. In other words, go ahead and disown me.
Huh?
You can go back into our messages and see what I told you. You're mistaking what I said, and that it wasn't what you thought it meant, right?
What? You're kidding, right?
I wanted to make things more clear for you, but you wouldn't stop talking, and told me to stop talking about it anytime I try to speak, so I gave up on it. And honestly, I'm totally okay with you cutting your ties to me, and that's why I stopped caring about you having a misunderstanding about what I said.
What the heck? Then what should I do now?
Go back to your own house and stay quiet from now on?
But I already moved ahead and sold my place.
Is that right?
What the hell is up with you acting like that's got nothing to do with you?
Well, you're cutting ties to me now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Are we done here? I have some things that I need to get back to, and I can see that you have nothing left to say to me that I care to hear. Bye.
Wait a second. What the heck am I going to do? Jack? Hey.
What do you want? What could you possibly want with me now?
Hey, do you know where your sister ran off to?
Huh? Why are you asking me where she's gone? All I know about her is that her husband and her moved back closer to his hometown because there would he be closer to his job.
Huh? They moved even further away? That town is almost 4 hours away from here.
Before those two even got married, they were talking about how before they even had a kid, they'd move back into his hometown where he'd be closer to his job and be in a better place to raise the kids. The only reason why he was working around here for a little while in the first place is because the company he works for is owned by his dad, and he was asked to start helping with the starting of a new office in town. But they agreed that once his wife became pregnant, he could go back to his old office closer to his hometown and have his kid there.
What?
And it's getting pretty close to the due date for that baby, so they decided to move back to his hometown before she had the baby and is all tired out.
Well, why did I never hear anything about this from them?
It's because you're a reckless woman, so we all decided to keep their move a secret from you so you couldn't do anything crazy to them.
Huh? I'm reckless?
You made a huge deal about having me give up on my penthouse and handing it over to my sister so that her and her husband could have their baby there and you could live there with them as well. They also knew about how I bought this place before my divorce and that you were the reason my wife ended up leaving me. And if all that wasn't enough, you were causing a crap ton of stress for her by always trying to control everything she planned to do with the baby, as though it was gonna be your baby somehow. Well, anyway, there's a whole bunch of reasons that began to pile up, and that's why they both chose to move out of town without telling you.
What the heck? Does she not want me around to help her in raising her baby when it's born? Did she forget who raised her to become the perfect woman she is now?
And as far as we're concerned, it was Dad that raised the both of us into the people we are now.
Huh?
Dad was the one making the money in the house for all of us to live on, and he was also the one that did the most cooking and cleaning in the house. You were a housewife, but you ended up slacking off quite a lot.
Wait a second.
Also, it's been 2 years now since you left the house to live on your own away from Dad because you didn't want him to listen to you asking all the time to do the chores, right? Well, he's told me that he plans to divorce you now since you're never going back to him.
But if he leaves me, how am I going to make any money?
No, I'm not, because you told me you'd disown me and cut ties with me.
But you are my son, so you should be able to do something about this, please.
I think we're pretty much done here, right? I'm a very busy man now, and I got things I gotta get back to. Can you make sure to never talk to me again?
Jack!
Now I'm gonna get back to work. Goodbye forever. After her and I had our final conversation, my mom came running back to my penthouse door and continued to hang around it for hours and hours. But after a while of hearing her constant knocking around my penthouse door and the building itself, others in the building began to become suspicious of her and called the police on her. They came just at the time I wasn't around, so she couldn't get me to come and help her, meaning the police put her in their car and drove her to the nearest station. After she was let out of the police station the following day, she proceeded to start heading back to the building my penthouse was in, only to be stopped by my dad, who told her that he heard about everything and would be sending her to my older brother's business outside the state. There she would work for him and make some money to support herself, while also being too far away to do anything about me and the rest of my family. Her brother operates a logging business, so the location she'll be working at is far in the mountains and forests, where it takes almost a day to get to by buggy or truck. So because of her being so remote, I can feel a sense of relief knowing she'll never make it back here again. And of course, this meant that Dad was able to divorce her as well. I hope that now she's lost pretty much everything in her immediate family, and she'll begin to make a new family out there in the middle of nowhere cutting wood all day with all those other loggers. And I'm sure that unlike us, those loggers won't even let her get away with a second of that reckless attitude she had with us.